Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video we have a cheeky little preview slash prediction video a day earlier than normal because I know for a fact you didn't want to see this on Christmas Day. Who's writing these scripts? But before we go any further on with the Christmas Eve upload, a quick shout out to the channel sponsor, the legends themselves, OneFootball. As always, the link will be down there in the description below. And I'm really hoping and praying I've been good enough this year to get either a red, white, blue or mandarin logo instead of the green. I always forget what side it's at. I think it's this one. But as it is Christmas Eve, let's just get on with the show then, shall we? And as always, we're going to start off with the opposition preview. And the opposition we will be previewing is a Kilmarnock side that recently just said bye-bye to their manager. The decision itself, by the way, to say bye-bye to their manager, I think is absolutely ludicrous and just flat out dumb. Sacking a guy for having an average Kilmarnock side sitting 5th in the league just a couple months into a job in which he's trying to transition a Kilmarnock side that played negative style football to a team that plays football the right way, and they bag him after only 3 or 4 months. That is absolute madness as far as I'm concerned. However, Kilmarnock has made that decision to move away from the manager, move away probably from all the players that he brought in to play for him, like the Italian speaking players and the Juventus loan players, moving away from all of them, and they're coming to this game versus Rangers fresh off a 1-0 loss in Alex Dyer's first game in charge. And with that 1-0 loss to Motherwell, that now moves them to 4 games without a goal for Kilmarnock, and that's something that's been talked up pretty heavily by Alex Dyer, the interim manager for Kilmarnock, going into this game of football. He believes that luck will change and they will also be ready to play against Rangers. And how are Kilmarnock planning to do this versus Rangers? In the Kilmarnock's manager's own words ahead of the game, this is honestly what he said. "We usually go there, work hard, set out our stall well. We are going to try and do the same again." I'm not lying. He's literally told us they're coming here to park the bus. Now, as you can imagine, him saying that pretty much makes this preview done and dusted right there. Very short and sweet on this mighty Christmas Eve. Usually we go in, we look at the teams we're playing against, like how they've been playing, the formations they set up, and we try to think about how they'll play versus Rangers. We didn't need to do that. Let's throw that to one side because Alex Dyer's let us know they're here to park the bus. So let's not waste any more time discussing Kilmarnock then, ladies and gentlemen, because they've let their intentions be clear. Let's flip over and turn our attention to where it matters most, and that is on Rangers. And coming into this game of football versus Kilmarnock, the two sides genuinely couldn't be any more different. Where one team in Kilmarnock has been struggling as of late, Rangers on the other hand are playing some pretty terrific stuff at away tough fixtures like at Fir Park and then at Easter Road, following up with truly dominated performances in places where they have struggled in the past. Especially in their most recent game at Easter Road versus Hibs, they were honestly incredible, and the performance just is not getting the recognition it deserves because they're talking about off the field incidences because of an idiot in the stand throwing objects at Bonnebear Barisic. But I felt like the on the field stuff needed to be mentioned again because it is getting lost on a lot of people. That performance was nothing short of a clinic from Rangers, beating them in every single aspect of the game, and that is what we should be focusing on going into this game of football, because if we can replicate that once again, this could be an incredible performance coming at Ibrox. That's right, we are finally back at home at Ibrox, and I just hope and pray that we give a performance that stadium and the fans deserve, because it's been far too long since we played there. And that right there gives us the perfect transition to jump over to the official press conference recap for this week's game versus Kilmarnock. Now, if you'd like to see the entire thing, as always, that's on the official Rangers YouTube channel. But here, I'm just going to pick out a couple of things that I think you guys would be very, very interested in. The first one is going to be regarding the all-team selection and the consistency of it. And I've got to give the guy credit who asked this question during the official press conference. It was very interesting to hear Gerard's response. So for once, I'll give you credit. You actually asked a decent question right there. But they talked about that last year. Rangers led the league by a distance for chopping and changing players every single game. It was frightening, the stats and how many changes we had compared to where we are this season, where we've been much more consistent and we've just been churning out results because of that consistency. We've had consistency in the lineup and consistency on the park. We love to see it. And Gerard, as always, was simply classy with his response. Instead of taking the credit for him and the coaching staff saying, yes, we've learned our lessons from last year, he actually just gave all the credit and all the praise over to the players, saying the reason you're seeing such consistency is because the players are playing at such a high level, it's near impossible to drop them because they're doing everything that him and the coaching staff are asking. They're not only playing well, but they're working hard for each other, and they're recovering well, and they're not being distracted by stuff off the field. And compared to last year, we've been pretty lucky with injuries, touch wood that continues, and we've not had as many silly suspensions, so that's why you're seeing this Rangers team perform week in and week out now, because they're not forced into making changes every single week, which is a massive plus, but also brings us to why there's so many rumours about so many people leaving in January, and Gerrard confirmed that is why the squad is trimming down. It's not because of financial reasons or anything like that the Tin Hatters will make you believe. It's simply because he cannot offer these players that he brought in thinking that there was going to be these changes and people was going to get games. They can't offer these guys game time anymore because the players in front of them are playing absolutely balls out. So that is why so many people is going to be leaving in January, because they can't get near the 18, never mind the 11. And with that being said, let's turn our attention over to the latest team news then, shall we? Because I can barely contain myself. I can't wait any longer. I just want to let you know that the boy Stephen Davis is back. Now, if you follow these preview videos every single week and you watch to this point of the videos every single week, you would have known that Boxing Day was always the target from Stephen Davis, and up to that press conference, which was I think 24 hours old now when I'm currently recording today's video, they were just going to keep an eye on him over the next couple of sessions just to make sure he was at 100%, but fingers crossed that the boy still is, and fingers crossed we see him tomorrow. And the good news just keeps on rolling from there, because not only do we have a positive about Stephen Davis, but we have a positive about Jordan Jones. He is apparently word for word knocking on the door to get back in the mixer. So could we see Jordan Jones play a part versus Kilmarnock? If not, he should be ready for Celtic. This one's a bit more obvious, but just in case you didn't know, Alfredo Morelos is also back, served his suspension from the Hibs game, so he's available if selected to play against Kilmarnock. It's all good news as well, because there's been no further injuries. We were slightly worried about Bonabir Barisic, but he's came through with flying colours, so there's been no further injuries, no further knocks, no bumps or bruises from Friday, so the full team marches on. The only negative is the one we already know that we spoke about in the last one, and that was Helander, who's going to be missing for upwards to 2 months, unfortunately, which is a real bitter blow for him, but I'm sure he will be back playing for Rangers before the end of the season. On. But I consider that a win, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone came through Friday. Everyone's coming back. Stephen Davis, Jordan Jones. I'm absolutely buzzing, and I cannot wait for Thursday. So let's just take that positivity right over to the prediction on sections. I want to hear your opinion for this Boxing Day special. Rangers versus Kilmarnock. We're finally back at Ibrox. Now you know a little bit more about the fixture and a little more about the game. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the comment section below. And while you guys are doing that, I will give you mine very, very briefly. I'm going to go in, I'm positive, I'm feeling good right now, so I'm expecting Rangers to replicate what they did on Friday. I know Kilmarnock's going to come here and play anti-football to the maximum. They've already told us that, but I just think we're going to be too good and too clinical when the chances do come. So I'm expecting Rangers to come away with a 3-0 victory versus Kelly. My goal scorers, Alfredo Morelos, dirty double. And since it's been a bit of time since Tavernier did score, I'm backing the captain to get back on the score sheet. So that is my goal scorers, that is my prediction. Now that we've shared our opinion, let's jump over to Twitter then and hear from the people. So over to Twitter then, there's been 1,596 votes. Thank you so much for getting involved. 2% votes for the draw, 3% votes for Kelly, but a strong 95% of the people votes for a Rangers win. So let's see what they've had to say then, shall we? Keemstar writes in 4-0, Joe Rebo hat-trick and Jordan Jones to get a goal. Stuart Ward writes in 3-1, Morelos, Tavernier and Ryan Jack. Mike.G writes in 4-0 CJ. We're playing some excellent football right now, and that would give us momentum for the 29th. Morelos hat-trick and a Ryan Kent screamer. 55 writes in 3-0, Barisic, Jack and Ryan Kent. Barney Stinson writes in 4-0 to the famous. A dirty double for Alfredo, Defoe and Aribo with the others. Come on, the Rangers. Thomas Lee writes in 3-0 to Rangers. Alfredo to score 1, Kent to get 1 and Connor Goldson to get 1. Jordan Jones to also play the last 10 minutes. The man's even predicting subs. That is the level that Thomas Lee is on right now. Cammy McFarlane writes in probably 5 or 6-0 to use. We couldn't score on a brothel. Happy Christmas, mate. A Merry Christmas as well to yourself, Cammy. Paul at Paul at Seas, the absolute legend himself, also writes in 3-0 to us. I can't see anything other than a convincing victory. And Merry Christmas to yourself and your much better half. Thanks, Paul. You too, son. Michael McDonald writes in a Christmas-themed romper 4-0 with Alfredo getting a hat-trick and St. Nicolo Katic making it 4. Well done, Michael. Well done. Logan also backs you up there by going 4-0. Our home form is great, so it should be winning pretty damn comfortably. And the last 2 or 3 that we'll read out, the first one comes in from Stevie G, RFC, and he writes in, I had a dream it was 4-1. Can I argue with a dream? Stephen writes in 3-0 win, Morelos double and Ryan Jack goal. And the last one we'll read out, scroll all the way there, we'll scroll up it right here. It's a Christmas miracle, and it comes from Andrew Rooney, and he writes in 4-0 Kent double with Ojo and Ryan frickin' Jacks. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've heard from the people, you've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do by now. Before we wrap up today's video, I'm very Merry Christmas to every single one of you. Thank you for an absolute incredible year. I genuinely could never ever explain how much it means to me, and I hope every single person who is watching today's video has a great bit of time with their family or however they are celebrating. But as always, I've been Sage 92. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day tomorrow, and I'll see you on Thursday.